In this video, we'll be continuing on in 9.5 using next to and across from to give directions, but this time it will be inside of a office, a room, an office. So for this one, I'll go ahead and put a picture up as the thumbnail for this video that you can look at, but I'm looking at a picture of an office kind of layout. So over on this side here is the door, and then inside you have a couch and meeting table, a desk, and then some kind of curved desk, a file cabinet, a small table, a printer, all these different kinds of things. So I'll go ahead and put that up that you can look at and then reference that as we go. So for this one, you are going to be using the same signs that we've been using for giving directions, the across from as well as the next to. So for this one, whenever you start, you're going to start with enter. Okay, so you can say door, enter, and then that means because the door is on this side and you are actually walking into the room from this way, that you will give directions from the vantage point of actually looking straight into the room. So if I had to turn, it would actually be this way. I'm walking into the room and I see the whole room in front of me. Okay, so whenever you think about it that way, you have to shift it this way so that your perspective is correct to give directions. I've also been asked, when giving directions, do you switch perspectives and try and think what that person sees, or do you keep your perspective? Do you look at what you see as the map that you're going off of? How do you do that? So it's always going to be off of your perspective, and the other person watching you sign is going to be the one to reverse that in their mind to be able to understand how to do all of that. So it will always be whenever you sign from your perspective. Okay, so for this one, so we're going to go door, enter. Okay, so now I'm into the door. Let's say that I want to go to the couch. Okay, so also one of the things that we learned previously is when giving directions in a hallway, like inside of a building where things are at. You have the elevator here, you have the cafeteria here, the stairs, so you can give all of those directions. You can use reference points. So this one thing next to that's where it's at. You can also just give directions directly there. Also, you can use the mouth morphemes to tell if something is really close, a medium distance, or really far away. Sometimes that ranges on whether you're in a hallway. Maybe it's not actually so far to the end of the hallway to the elevator, but in the grand scheme of how big the actual space is, then you would use that one as like the really far away. Or maybe it's kind of a medium distance from wherever you're at, so it'd be that okay, or maybe it's like right there, really close, like right next to you, you're going to use the E. Okay, so for this one, whenever you enter the room, the couch is right there to the right of you, so it's going to be the E. Okay, so whenever I do door, enter, then I can explain how to get there from there. Okay, so door, enter, and then right here is the couch. Okay, so I can do that just for simply giving directions there. I can also give directions, let's say, to the file cabinet, which when you enter the door, that would be the far right-hand corner over on this side. Okay, so I can use corner to give directions this way and kind of explain where things are in relation to the room. Even though there's no street, I can still give like the corners where it's at. Okay, so whenever I do this one for the file cabinet, so I'll say file, it's like you're sorting things, putting papers in each file. Okay, so file, and I'm just gonna do drawer. Okay, you could do like cabinet this way as well, but file cabinet I'll sign. Okay, so door, enter. Okay, and I'm going to go over here to this corner, which means that's going to be that one over there, the far right corner. So this corner here, right there, is the file cabinet. Okay, so I can also reference this a different way. I could explain that the small table is straight ahead and then over to the side is the file cabinet. So let's try that way. Okay. Okay, so I referenced the small table straight ahead, gave that a classifier. Moving over here in this corner right there, that's the file cabinet. Okay, so as you practice with something like this, so you can go through and you can give directions to each of the places in the room. It doesn't have to be quite as formal, you know, this business name, you do all of these things, but if you do a classifier, then you are going to leave that there, or if you use corner, then that should be left there. Okay, so make sure that if you put, this is the small table here, then I don't put this down and then go over here. Now that I have no map, is the file cabinet. You want to make sure you leave that and then go next to it and show that. And again, all of this that you're setting up is going to be from your perspective. Keep up the good work.